should've stayed at home. Cause right now I see all these people that love me, but I still feel alone. Can't help but check my phone. I could've made you mine, but no, it wasn't meant to be. And see, I wasn't made for you, and you weren't made for me. Though it seems so easy.
I'm going on a solo trip around Lake Michigan for 1 whole week in my car. No hotel, no camping, no Airbnbs. I'm gonna be sleeping in my car. I began getting out of the car and had some firewood with me. I soon realized I haven't made a campfire since 7th grade, from that one scout trip. So, as I struggled and labored my way to forge a single flame, keeping the flame alive took a significant amount of time. The thing that sucks is that it rained today, so all these leaves are pretty wet. As soon as I had some heat, I took out my food leftovers and started to cook them. It's cooking, yes sir. Being alone in the dark woods can make anybody paranoid, to some degree. The fuck was that? Dude, there's an owl. Bruh, it's like mildly warm. Barely. Attending my fire, I heard something close to me, almost sounding like someone walking around. Which put me on high alert. Thought I heard something for a second. Well, I did, but I think it's just the other campers. It sounded way too close, but... shit. After a short period of time, my fire started to give out. And at that point, I honestly didn't give two shits. Also, my pants are wet. A lot of people would be afraid to travel solo. Obviously risks. Most people I've talked to have defined it as ballsy, a little bit crazy. Not a lot of people would travel by themselves. Whenever you're traveling solo, it kind of does get a little bit difficult to socialize because you're with yourself all the time and it's hard for people to trust you or for you to trust them. As I'm driving through a small town by the name of Manitowoc, whatever. In Wisconsin, I came across this enormous empty parking lot. It was filled with weeds and grass growing through the concrete cracks. This empty parking lot intrigued me due to its massive size. In front of this parking lot was an old abandoned mall building, the death of the American mall, infecting most smaller malls all across the country. Probably once a thriving center of commerce due to the fact that it was in the middle of a neighborhood. Though it made me feel a bit nostalgic, even though I've never been to this one in my life. Being born in the early 2000s and growing up in the 2010s, I never really had that experience of the older mall. But I also found it comforting at the same time. A place lost and forgotten. This is where I usually sleep. Sleeping through all this has made me really appreciate what I have. I have a house, I have a bed to sleep in, I can shower every day if I want to, I can eat whatever. So this is in the trunk of the car. I put my upper body in the trunk and then my legs extend to the back seat. And I have a sleeping bag, pillow, some wood, and this thing. Having to find your own place to sleep, it's a bit difficult. It can be a little bit stressing. Oh, I have to go find a place to sleep. And a lot of these places are not open to overnight parking. Not saying I follow the rules. In order to stay anywhere, I have to squeeze in here. I have my water with me and my car keys with me. The surface of it's hot. I don't know if it's because I've been using the car too much. Hope the car just doesn't fail in the middle of the freeway. Right now, my car is a huge mess. I have 10 different food packages, dirty clothes everywhere, shoes. There's sand all over my car. It's definitely squeezed. I got my pillow here. I just usually cocoon myself in the sleeping bag. I obviously lock my doors. Having this gratitude that you have your own house. And there's a lot of people in this world that don't have that opportunity to stay in a warm house. I kind of did this, humble myself a little bit, and to appreciate the things that I have. Throughout this trip, I've literally gone from freezing temperature to 80-degree weather. I've shivered myself to sleep, and I've also sweat myself to sleep. Venturing out into a city at night has always been a no-go for most people. But why? Walking at night is so peaceful and quiet. No people around, everything is as still as a mouse. Well, I mean, there's only one answer to that. Darkness. We don't know what's out there. Yes, there are street lamps, but there's always still a lack of people. There are sure to be monsters out there. Just look at Minecraft. Minecraft spawns you in the day for you to build a shelter and a bed so you can sleep at night and not encounter mobs in the dark. Did I just use Minecraft as an example? Yes, I did. When you aren't able to do what you love and what defines you, it's kind of hard to say who you really are because you start to question yourself. Who am I? If I don't have this, then do I have a purpose? Am I really doing what I love if I don't have this? If you really want something in life, no matter what it is, the world does not owe you anything. In fact, you owe the world. You all have a story. I have a story. I'm here. This is my story. I'm telling your story. Everyone has a story to tell. As your own main character, you have to kind of make your story interesting, build your character arc. Do what you love, because that's what makes your story interesting. My name is Hector Molina, and this is my story.